Hi, I'm Victor Cantore. I'm the president and CEO of Amex Exploration. It's a high-grade gold project in Quebec in the Abitibi. We're right in the middle of the Abitibi. Lots of infrastructure there, lots of big labor force. That's it.
How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, isn't it? It's sunny Quebec. We love it.
Yes, sunny Quebec, great weather, great time of the year to be here.
For sure. And then we're at this conference, the mining event of the North, or something similar, Tom, I think.
Yeah.
How's it going, first of all? Let's start with that.
Oh, it's going great. It's going great. Lots of meetings, very busy. We had a fantastic event last night, so it was great. It was great. Lots of networking going on there.
And do you know what? Sometimes it's those sort of like off-campus networking events that actually get the conversations going. And I suspect the industry does its discovery at night, not necessarily at these sort of daytime conferences.
Yeah, but so yesterday at the at that networking event there was the Korshak event, so we were one of the participants there. So it was nice. We had a lot of traffic. So it wasn't just networking, talking, eating it. So we had a lot of traffic. We were showing off our core with lots of visible gold on it. So
it was nice.
Yeah, no, it was nice.
Right, we got to talk about, obviously, great time to be in gold, high-priced gold environments, and obviously I'm always intrigued as to how companies react to that or not. You keep pumping out this high-grade gold results. Headlines are fantastic. You've got to move this project forward, though, because we're at that point where people want to kind of see it coming together. So talk about this year. What are we going to be looking at?
So the main milestones is still going to be the mineral resource estimate, and immediately followed by economic study, which will be a PEA. That's coming out. That will be coming out shortly.
Right, and you've done some met work. Looking good there.
Oh, the met work is really fantastic. So the first met work we had done was just on the high grade zone. Yeah. So the high grade zone, it did come in 99 plus, but the 99 plus is basically with gravity. We had 3 samples in there. One was like a little over 70%, 80%, and almost 90%. So basically, most of it was coming down by gravity. You actually skipped the flotation and you went straight to cyanidation. So your OpEx there will be a lot more favorable than other projects. And since we're going to be doing the MRE on 5 zones, you had to do on all those 5 zones. Now you had to do the metallurgy, and there it came in over 95%. So that one there we had to do. It was gravity, flotation, cyanidation, and we've come in 95%. So we put all that together. It's not just high grade. It's also a high quality deposit.
Right. So we're talking like super high grade core to this, but there's some other kind of hits opportunities. Which I'm wondering how you kind of bring this together. If you're going to do resource, you want the economics to reflect what you believe the quality of this project to be, but in a regulated environment, you're going to need to bring some of that together. So in terms of the drilling you're doing between now and the resource coming out, what are you thinking about doing?
So if you look at our high grade zone, for example, and we have the long section there that's a copy from Leapfrog, and you look at those pink spheres that it's showing every pink sphere that's 10 grams or more, and when you look at it, it's almost vertical. Yeah, it's 89 degrees. Yeah, that's like our mining engineer said, that's a mining engineer's dream. So you have the high grade zone, which would be underground, and then you would have.
Remind us the grades.
The grades, like you had some grades of 6 meters of 100 grams. Yeah. There was another one. It was a little over an ounce, 35 grams, over 6.2 meters. It's really high grade, and it's quite continuous. It's quite continuous right through. If you go on our website, you go on our presentation. You look at not only the one with the, you could look at the one with the Leapfrog, but if you go on the high grade zone itself, we do have all those, not all of them. We have about a dozen or so highlight holes, and you can see how continuous it is. It's not something that's spotty. It's really coming down continuous, which makes a big difference. That's what makes this deposit really special.
So, well, yeah, especially because, I mean, the value per ton must be exceptional in that kind of scenario, mining scenario. As in mining engineers will obviously tell us soon what that could look like.
Yeah.
But that's what you want. And so, what else are you doing in terms of that kind of like stepping out and trying to understand and bring more ounces into this resource?
Yeah. So one of the press releases that we put out recently is we connected 3 zones.
Yeah.
So we try to put out like before we actually declare it a zone, there's a lot of drilling that goes in it. Then we declare it a zone. So we weren't sure about it at the beginning. That's why all 3 had distinct names.
Yeah.
Again, if you go on our site, we're showing it. There's going to be more drilling that we need to do in between, what we're hoping to do is connect those 3 zones all in one. From a geological perspective, we do believe it does connect. So there, instead of having 3 pits like we were anticipating, now you could actually make one big pit out of there, which you'll increase the grade, you'll increase the tonnage, you'll increase the economics of it.
Okay, if I look at a bit of M&A which has been going on out there, there's lots of mergers of equals, and obviously historically you've got people like Great Bear following a model of, well, maybe we don't need the economic studies, don't worry about it, we're going to drill. Industry is going to be looking at something like you because the grades warrant that, and the amount of ounces that you're finding warrants that, and they will put their own studies together, their own modeling, etc. So there's kind of 2 ways to come at this. And Great Bear kind of led the way because it was unusual strategy, more conventionally, and when you're following the conventional model as well, so that the markets can understand what you're doing. Both those audiences must be looking forward to a point in time where you sort of make your intentions clear. You're explorers, right?
That's correct.
This thing only needs to get so big for one of those exit kind of events to come along. So what's the thinking at the moment in this high-priced gold environment?
So we're continuing drilling. We want to continue growing it. When you look at Great Bear, for example, they got sold for $211 million for every million ounces, and that's and you have to compare deposit to deposit. That's really a high-grade deposit. I think there's going to be a lot more M&A that's going to be happening in the industry. Quebec is a great jurisdiction for it. Ontario also was a great jurisdiction. That's why Great Bear, Kinross decided to move ahead with that. We're just trying to make this as big as possible. Yeah. That's why we have 5 drills turning. We're gonna have 5 drills next year. We're budgeted right through the end. We're gonna continue working as hard and as diligent as we can to put out something good. Like, so when we put out the MRE, it'll be a good MRE. Yeah. It'll be a good economic study that follows it.
Right. And you've enough money to deliver both of those events, yeah?
Absolutely.
Right. And at which point you see what the market reaction is and go again.
Oh, absolutely. That's really important to say. When we put out the MRE, including the PEA, that's going to be a snapshot. At that specific moment.
Because you've got how much strike have you got, and how much have you done?
There's more than 20 kilometers of prolific gold-bearing faults. Right. We've barely touched about 5 of them. Right. And again, if you look at our geology map and you look on the southern part, that's where orogenic deposits are usually found in the volcanic rock. We haven't put one drill hole in that area, and that landmass is bigger than the rhyolite where we've been finding the gold. Just it was a low hanging fruit. Of course, we're going to drill it. Most of the deposits are found in the volcanics. There's about 10 or 15% of world class deposits that are found in the rhyolite rock, which this will be it does look like it's going to be a world class deposit.
It's interesting to me, the kind of conversations that we're having. I did a session yesterday with the Legend Research panel or something like that, with lots of mind builders on stage. And it's quite clear that they don't want to, and are probably not very good at, doing pure play exploration. It's expensive for them. And most of the time, exploration doesn't kind of work out. Yeah. Most of the time, people don't make discoveries. But you've made discoveries. Building a picture here for them to come in and invest in you, shall we say, or take you out. It's quite cheap. That's a very cheap option for them to do so, and it's probably the most efficient way of doing it. If that doesn't happen, I can't imagine a scenario where it doesn't happen, but let's pretend. The other conversations that have been going on this week about the types of money available to juniors to as you move through the phases. Now, high-priced gold environment, money's not cascading down through the junior exploration, nor will it probably for about a year or so. Do you find it easy to kind of access capital? Are you got people looking in and going, we want to get involved with this thing? How's your register look like?
So we've always managed to raise good amounts of money when we wanted to or when we needed to. Can we put this project into production ourselves? Yes, we can.
You can, but is it your thing?
My thing, no. We'd have to bring in. We'd have to bring in a production team. What's important for me, the way I see things, I'm a fiduciary to the shareholders. I'm a shareholder myself, so I will do whatever's good or best for the shareholders. We're going to make this thing look the best possible in order to have somebody for M&A to happen. And if it doesn't, we've already brought in a mining engineer working internally. We've hired an external, so that person, the interior person works for us. We've brought in an exterior mining engineering company. So we want to make sure that we can show it's going to be another check on the box that if we have to build it, we can build it, and this will be a low capex project. You know, when the question comes, why did Eldorado come in? Here, I'll take a guess. Look at their Lamaque project. And it's high grade shoot, and as they were mining it, and you start drilling from underground, going deeper, they've made so many discoveries while everything was going on. So I think that's one of the reasons why they jumped in. So and the reason I'm saying that is that I just want to show you that there's a lot of potential on the property. It's a lot to grow. It'll just be a snapshot. The MRE. Look over at the Windfall project. They've drilled over 2 million meters to get 7 million ounces. So
2 million.
2 million meters. So
I can't understand that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
Yes.
Okay, so back to reality here. So you've been able to do what lots of junior explorers haven't been able to do, and you painted quite a nice picture. I think so. This year feels like quite a big and meaningful year for you in terms of what you're going to be able to tell the market. Next year, likewise, should be a really big year for you. What's your preference in terms of how you move forward? In terms of, do you want to get more strategic money? Do you want to get more institutional money? Just because you've got to kind of start changing that register somewhat to make it a bit more, I guess, grown up in a way, because you've reached that point now, that tipping point.
Yeah. So the register has been changing. The when we did the $49.6 million placement back in 2022. I'd have to say it was something like 98% institutional investors. Yeah. And the last one was just Eldorado. So there has been a transition going over from retail to, and you still need your retail. Retail is still very important.
What's the balance?
I think it's 70-30 right now.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And when you look at for the rest of the year, you got your MRE, you'll have your economic study, and then with 5 drills turning, we've always been able to make new discoveries. Yeah, we'll definitely have more results, but also new discoveries because we're doing regional exploration. Yeah, so I think we're gonna have a really good next 6 months.
So do I. Good man. Keep doing it. Okay.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks.